Celebrate. Celebrate. These are full notes. Where's the other one? Is there? Okay. Yeah, it's not lit. Is everybody not fun? Is everybody clapping? Turn it off. Okay, no, I should carry that. Holy grail. Elevate, baby. Celebrate. Speaking of celebration, I know happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. It's your boy T Gold, pardon the delay. Shit was crazy. You know the World Cup out here, so your boy was in the mix. But we out here, we live. Last week the World Cup had shit crazy. This week World Cup had shit crazy. But we keep it popping, we keeping it moving, we keeping it live. I'm super excited. It's super on fire. You know what I mean? People was burning down buses. People was fighting. Gonna bring people together in sports, music, fashion, art. You know what I'm saying? Video games. These bring people together. So, for me, man, pizza. Oh yeah, food. Definitely food. Food bring people together too. So, you know, there's different things that, you know, people just basically are travel about, you know, in their community, especially when it comes to sports and their teams. Or like New York with our pizza. You know what I'm saying? Because that's even a thing. A pizza is a thing, man. But happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. After this, I'm going to be kicking it with my daughter. So this has been a very full weekend for your boy. We got Mint and Marquee banners, flyers coming. So that's going to be popping. I'm so happy about this. And man, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. This is episode. So yeah, man, that's what we do, man. We got 3D printed joints popping, Mint and Marquee. Go to looking for to ask the co-host Just Cheese how he doing, how he feeling, how was his weekend, and how's Nova, man? You know, we ain't seen Nova in a minute. I see Nova on the shirt, so that's what, you know, reminded me, you know, you repping Skylark. Mm-hmm. So I see Nova on the shirt, man. You know, how's Nova doing, man?
Nova's chilling. We went for our hike this morning. So that's good. But aside from that, the weekend has been very good. Just been mostly preparing for my pitch on Tuesday.
Oh, that's up and coming.
Yeah, and aside from that, just uh, like doing some World Cup stuff yesterday, uh, and 3D printing the boat for Justin. But overall, it's been a good weekend.
Dope, dope.
Yeah.
Now, you guys set it off because we already gave a big shout out to all the three fathers out there. Cheese, you're not a father of a child, but you're a father of a pet, a dog. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, happy Father's Day to all the pops out there. And I'm not even gonna lie, man. We gotta talk about the FIFA event out here in ATL, man. We got some dope topics that we gotta run through, but before we set it off, we gotta talk about what's going on with the FIFA Fan Fest. I'm not even gonna lie. That shit was lit. You know what I'm saying? It's mad fans of Brazil out here. It's mad fans of Mexico out here, which makes sense. There's a large Mexican and Brazilian population out here in Atlanta. So they was out here heavy, man. I can't even lie. Then the music was right. They had the vibes popping. It was like, EDM, you know what I'm saying? Kind of vibes if you ever went to a rave, like the music with the lights, because they had, international crowds. So I experienced that 2 nights. So I ain't gonna lie, man. I watched my first soccer game. I watched 2 soccer games from beginning to end. And I see the reason why people love soccer. You know what I'm saying? It's to watch certain dope teams play, because I saw Haiti get their ass whipped, so they're not a good team. And Brazil waxed them, but yesterday I saw Ecuador. I forgot the other team, but that was a great game, and that was a draw too. So it's exciting, man. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know I was watching history because the actual goalie for Ecuador set a record. He tied 18 saves. You know what I'm saying? So having to watch that game, my second soccer game, watching history was kind of dope because, the shit was turned up. I can't lie. Soccer fans is crazy. The Spain fans, y'all are something else. Y'all had chants. Y'all had the flag, using the flag like a matador when people walking by like bulls. You know what I'm saying? When they was like, so they was trying to give women kisses if they came by, whether on the hand or on the cheek, you know what I mean, on the lips if they felt frisky. So that shit was funny as hell watching that, man. I was wondering why all of these dudes had just red lipstick on their faces. Oh. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
kisses?
Yeah, they're super paws, but all of them just had like red lipstick on their cheek. I guess for the besos, for the kisses. I guess that's like a Spain fan thing because a lot of them had that. So that shit was crazy. And I can't lie, to see some of the native, AT aliens in the mix. They were sprinkled in there. You know what I'm saying? I seen the sisters trying to get live with the rave music. So it was dope. Atlanta is definitely an international city now because, the world, ever since, 96 in the Olympics, that made an impact, but I think the World Cup was a little bit bigger and diverse because it's damn near the same length. These fans are crazy, man. There's a whole Spain house.
The host there.
Yeah, man, it was crazy, man. The murals is dope, you know what I mean? But yeah, Brazil and Mexico, we got y'all, man. We gotta cook. We had special requests, you know what I mean, for some Mexico, medallions, because I had, the Spain joints on. I had the Haiti joints on. Mm-hmm. Actually, Haiti got their ass kicked, but it was fun, man. Yo, the Haitian fans is cool, but they wasn't trying to cop nothing after the loss.
Yeah, I would imagine that, my team just lost and not necessarily in the greatest mood to spend money.
Yeah, man, so that shit was funny to watch. But the Spain fans, man, I guess maybe I should have had like a little soccer jersey on. I'm gonna give me a soccer jersey and just be out there. People be more receptive, man, because they were just looking at me up and down, like, what is this nigga doing with this? What is this negro doing with this? You know what I'm saying? So, nah, man, I had a good time out there. I ain't gonna lie. I definitely had a good time just enjoying the vibes, man. It's going on for another damn near month, so if you haven't had a chance to go out there to experience, it's free. The drinks ain't free. You're gonna pay $5 for a water and $12 for a beer, but you know, it is what it is, man. Go out there, have a good time. I was on the scooters too. That was another thing too. I walk that length because I park basically by the bookstore gallery. You know what I'm saying? So from the bookstore gallery to Centennial Olympic Park, that's where the fan fest is. You know, pull up, y'all. I guarantee you, man. Whether you with your family, you with your shorty, it don't even matter, man. Just pull up. You know what I mean? Have a good time out there, man. Jeez, did you get a chance to experience the FIFA Fan Festival out there at Centennial Olympic Park? And if not, when do you plan on going?
I have not gotten a chance to go. I'm gonna try maybe next weekend. But yeah, I haven't gotten a chance to go yet. But I've heard great stuff from you, Marlon. I've seen seen a bunch of people running through different events there, like Tune. I know he's been to a couple. So yeah, I'm definitely going to make my way down there, but I don't have any immediate plans to do so right now.
Yo, if you go down there, make sure you got a jersey or some kind of soccer thing, because I know, like the FIFA volunteer shirt, that shit will go good. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man, they lit, because you know people like to see the fan. Like that's how they stick.
You didn't see any other volunteers there?
I saw a bunch of volunteers out there.
Oh, okay.
I saw mad volunteers out there with the shirts and everything. You know what I'm saying? And respect to all the hustlers out there, the bootleggers, the people who was out there selling merch, you know, inside the clean zone, whether it was bootleg ass trophies or bootleg ass t-shirts. Y'all out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Get it while you can, because I know, you know, Mint Marquee, we made a couple of sales. You know, not as much as I wanted to, but it's still early. It was the first week. We still got another like 4 weeks, 4.5 weeks of this or whatever. So, you know, it gave me a good template on what to do and how to set up, man. But like I said, we got the banners coming for Mint and Marquee. You know what I'm saying? We got the flyers coming. You know, we got the tablecloth. So we're going to be set up official. And we're going to be out there getting to the money, man, with all the other vendors, man. So shout out to Shayla and John. You know what I mean? They actually had the president of Cape Verde here at the Rice Center. That was big. That's why last week we didn't have no visuals. We was here at the Rice Center. It was super noisy. It was loud, but it was turned up. It was mad. Cape Verdeans, and some of the most beautiful women I ever seen in the world were Cape Verdean, and they just came out here like Boston. So that shit was kind of lit. Shit was super lit. So yeah, man, I had to give y'all a rundown on that because you know we culture. This is what we do, man. We talk about what's going on in the city. And it's Father's Day weekend. And also, I got up early this morning. You know, the sun was already peaking up at like 6:05, and it's going to set at like damn near 9:15 or something. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, get in line, get in tune. You know, it's be a good day to do some breath work if you do meditation and stuff like that. You know, get your Zen on, man. You know. That's what these solstices mean to me in the equinoxes. You know what I'm saying? It's just our ancient ancestors respected those days and they held those days in high regard. So I do too, man. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I gotta ask Blue, our other co-host down there, how she doing? How she feeling? Thank you for the Happy Father's Day shout out. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate everybody's patience today. You know what I mean? But you know how we do, man. We gonna keep this thing popping every day, all day. Blue, how you doing? How you feeling? How's your weekend going so far?
Happy Father's Day. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Blue. I appreciate that so much, man. You know, yeah, man, it's a lot of fathers at ABC, man. You know, shout out to Marlon, Big Dog, you know what I'm saying, Bar Chef, you know what I mean, and his beautiful family. You know, Chris, he ain't got no kids, but his co-host Van, his co-founder Van, you know, he got 3 beautiful kids, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to our guy Barry. You know, B got he got some kids.
Got 4 kids.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to our guy RC. You was with RC today. Well, you hollered at him. You wasn't with him, but you hollered at RC.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to RC. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cleo. Trying to think of all of the dads out there, man. All of the Web3 dads. Who else? I know I'm missing somebody else. Oh, Fee. He came through with his son. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. Yeah, man. I know there's some more dads out there, man. But you know, we just want to big all of y'all up, man. But outside of that, Blue, how was your weekend? Did you get down to any FIFA fan festival events? And do you plan on going to any events if you haven't been there yet? Alright, because it's always, I just want to see if you tapped into any FIFA events. If not, man, I encourage anybody. Oh, she having connection issues, y'all. She got rug. Blue got rug. I'm gonna throw Blue back up on stage, y'all. She got rug. Boom. She sent the request. I'm gonna throw her back up on stage. So because Blue got rug, I don't know if she heard me, but I just want to ask her again. Blue, if you can hear us.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Okay.
Did you go down to any FIFA fan festival events?
No, I haven't been able to get to any of the FIFA games yet or the festivals. But it is so funny. I just opened up like what the tickets look like. Like if let's say I wanted to try to buy a ticket, like what it look like. Oh, that's a joke. Okay, because you know the cheapest ticket to be up in the nosebleeds, if I needed like binoculars to see the actual game, yo, it's $1,807. That's the cheapest ticket in the whole spot.
That's crazy.
The cheapest ticket in the whole spot, and then they got tickets to go all the way up to almost 5K. You understand me? 5K. And then the third little circle, like the people are paying $3,741 for like the top nosebleeds on the other side of the section. Yo! I didn't know they was getting down like that. I even see like now suites is 12K. I get like suites being like that. But like just a regular seat to get binoculars to see the game, that's crazy. They raking in dough. Like I hope some of the players get some of this cash.
Oh yeah, they making a killing out there. You know, shit is not cheap. Shit is not cheap. So yeah, man. Hey, the city is making some bread. I hope the small businesses and vendors are making bread. See, here's the thing though. I didn't see a lot of small business owners out there. You know, I saw a handful of like bootleggers, but I didn't see. I know there was some Father's Day and Juneteenth events that was going on this weekend that probably where all of the vendors were, you know what I'm saying, for the most part. But as far as FIFA vendors, nah, I didn't see a lot of them, you know. Especially inside that FIFA fan festival, it was all major corporate brands, you know. So that's one thing I felt like they should have tried to embrace more the community by allowing small vendors inside like the FIFA area. But you know, it's politics, man. It's politics, y'all. So,
Yeah, I mean that is the issue
gotcha.
that is the issue that people have at the citizen level, right? Because like even places like the Rice Center and Beltline were not officially included in the FIFA planning. So it's like, are we really trying to help the city, or are we just trying to come in and carve out an area and tell everybody to get the fuck out?
Yeah, that's what it seemed like they doing because you know they had the Beltline Festival today. Busta Rhymes is out here at the Beltline Festival. That's right there off of oh man, I forgot the name of that street, but basically it's Metropolitan. It's off of Metropolitan. I forgot the cross street to it, but you'll be able to Google it, find it, check it out. And Blue, what's your thoughts?
As far as like the businesses in the cities, like we personally know, I'm not gonna just say their names, but we attend their spots often. And I was those people with them, not this December, but last December. We filled out applications to be vendors. We filled out applications. People filled out applications to get their businesses front faced, and it was just like everybody was left on red. We didn't hear back. We didn't hear nothing. They asked questions, and nobody ever got back. And then you have all these other little side hustle people trying to sell you FIFA, and they had nothing to do with FIFA. And it was just like, I wonder how many people got ripped off. I would like to do like an investigation on this. Like, where did all that money go that was given to Atlanta for FIFA? Like, and why does it only look like kind of like the way they handled the Olympics, where it's like the homies and the really big brands got in, but everybody else was kind of like left on the side. And I just think it's really, really interesting.
Blue, you are so correct. Because there was some money set aside for small businesses in Atlanta to be vendors. And again, this is a running theme. I keep hearing that we know people personally who got businesses inside of the clean zone, didn't get any kind of sponsorship, no fund. Get approached. They did. Nothing really stuck, which was crazy. Like, yeah, there's probably going to be a crazy investor, man. Where are all of the local small businesses? It was all of the businesses and brands that had logos up on the side of that FIFA drop that I saw. You know what I'm saying? There's a big FIFA drop with all of their brands and sponsors. You know what I'm saying? It's on the side of the stadium. You know what I'm saying? It's plastered everywhere throughout the actual Centennial Olympic Park. Can't lie, man. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. That money just disappeared. You know what I'm saying? It didn't go to the community. We can all see that. You know what I'm saying? But we will continue to monitor the situation and enjoy some more of the festivities. Like I said, this is just the first week, folks. This is just the first week, and it's gonna get crazier. You know what I'm saying? The traffic wasn't as bad, but yeah, it is. It is kind of crazy, though. It is kind of crazy in certain areas. They did right, I think, with having games start at like 12 and end at like during the week, so it won't really interfere with the regular, 9 to 5 traffic. Yeah. So that was smart. We were monitoring the situation.
Yeah, we can move forward. I was just going to say there was a direct allocation large to $73.4 million for a federal pool sent to Atlanta World Cup host committee. And then the city of Atlanta received $52.2 million in federal funding. And then there are several other allocations that was given to Atlanta. So that is something maybe we can get you to investigate for us.
That's wild, Blue. Thank you for that information. We will monitor that. And all right, y'all. We're gonna get right into it, man. We're gonna get right into it. But yeah, please, y'all, if you haven't been out there, enjoy yourselves, man. On the turn up tip, it's a good summer event to go out. Like I said, family, friends, all of that good shit, man. All right, y'all. So let's get into it, man. Shout out to everybody who went to the parade. I thought my guy Dre went to the parade because he was in New York. Urban Blockchain, man. Nobody I know went to the parade, dog.
My little cousin and his mom went to the parade.
Okay, they enjoyed it.
Yeah, they live in Chester. Right above Bronx. Yeah. So they were excited.
Yo, actually, I'm lying. I do know one person. You know, my cousin actually went. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy he was able to pull up. I'm happy. I'm so happy he was able to pull up to that, man, because I saw it on the social media, man. So yeah, man. Shout out to the Knicks. It's gonna be a lit summer in New York. You know, I'm gonna get back there this summer. Shout out to Kyle and Justin at the Bookstore Gallery for supporting Mint and Marquee. The reason why y'all don't see the Jalen Brunson or the Carl Anthony Towns, because I printed them out, but they were already sold. You know what I'm saying? Like they was hot off the press. Like literally that Carl Anthony Towns was probably like 3 hours old right before it sold. So you know we got shit hot off the press that's moving, y'all. So shout out to them brothers, man. Shout out to the Knicks for real. All right, let's get into it, man. Let's talk about Franklin Templeton. I thought this was like this. I really like it. I think a neat way to actually so U.S. equity Bitcoin drip. Oh, I thought that was kind of slick, nice little name. The DRIP Index ETF and Franklin U.S. Innovation Bitcoin DRIP Index ETF will primarily invest in U.S. stocks while directing dividend payments toward Bitcoin accumulation rather than reinvesting those dividends back into equities. So under the structure, portfolios would initially hold roughly 95% in stocks and 5% in Bitcoin exposure. I thought it would be more, but still, baby steps. With Bitcoin allocations allowed to grow up to 20% cap over time, right? So they literally are stretching your Bitcoin allocation over time. They get specific with the time frame or timeline, but that's interesting. So one fund would focus on diverse large cap dividend paying companies while the other would emphasize innovative and growth oriented firms. So I really like this story, because a lot of times when you have people invest into that same stock that they got the dividends in, or they just reinvest in other stocks on that. It's interesting to see dividends being reinvested and allocated into Bitcoin. I can see this happening with a lot of other investment firms, man. So, gotta ask my co-host, what's your thoughts on Franklin Templeton taking some of their dividends from two ETFs and allocating some of those dividends into Bitcoin? Who wanna go first?
I'll go.
Blue? Oh, Blue got a hand up. We gotta do ladies first. We gotta do ladies first. Blue, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really interesting topic. Basically, Wall Street is like designing products where Bitcoin is basically like a savior. It's like a default savings layer instead of like traditional portfolios. And then this is like Bitcoin, DCA, like in markets. People go buy Bitcoin every week. Like they basically saying like own U.S. equities and let us like from these companies and allocating. And it just makes me even more bullish on we all need to self custody as much Bitcoin as we can because these boys about to go crazy.
Blue, you made a great point, man. You made several great points, but the one that stuck out to me the most was you saying like Wall Street is using like this particular financial product as a way to DCA into Bitcoin. I really like that perspective. You smoked that. You smoked that. Yeah, I totally agree. Cheese, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I have a similar perspective. I'm just not going to say savings. I'm going to say insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I feel like Bitcoin is becoming like this insurance product to kind of secure like future facing dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And from a technology standpoint, that would be a fair thing, right? Save money and its ability to, you be hard to protect value over time,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you believe in that, then you already see a lot of creative ways like this for the ETFs that dividends to pay back in Bitcoin. It's like the game at the end of the day, the game. If you assume the overall gain is to, continue uh, like capture as much Bitcoin as possible, like those who are like the governments and the companies, they all are trying to capture as much Bitcoin as possible, right? So under that assumption, the benefit, in my opinion, is the insurance piece in the way it looks like against, backing your your capital, your and again going back to where we were, where the monetary system is, and how we are no longer backed by anything of security, i.e., gold, like in the '70s, and that is that's part of the deflationary issue. So I think there's like Bitcoin is definitely a protection layer if you can put aside a piece of your income, your paycheck, or you put aside some, in this case, you can convert different assets of your company into Bitcoin. Is this long-term opportunity to protect yourself?
That's right. Man, y'all both smoked that, man. DCA and insurance, these are the ways that Wall Street, and like to Cheese's point, different companies are using Bitcoin, as insurance, man. So y'all both smoked that, man. I appreciate both of y'all thoughts on that, man. It's a very, very interesting topic. And I know Blue, she had mentioned something last week, and I kind of want to circle back to this because she asked about, and I thought this was great, updates on the Clarity Act. Now, we got NFT, well, we had NFT in here. I wanted to get her take. Hopefully she'll jump back into the spaces, but I definitely want to get her take because she is the president of the Georgia chapter for Stand With Crypto, and she was in DC along with Mason Leno and our guy Chris from Project Pop. They were out there in DC, man, pushing legislation.
She did give an update. I can.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Chief. Fill us in, please.
Yeah, so Tia and on Thursday they shared an update, and the major thing is that the major thing that's plaguing progress is that people are very concerned about what Trump has been able to do with crypto.
Oh yeah.
Right. So in the process of trying to figure out what this could look like, right? There are a lot of people still raising questions about how do we not, continue to let some of this fuckery happen, right? So, from my understanding, what Tia shared is that they still want to move forward. There are a lot of questions being raised in the form of two things. One is how, especially on people like Raphael Warnock, how are we going to ensure that certain things that our culture has been knocked out before it doesn't happen again? Right, that's one. And then two, how to ensure that the stuff that I want them to get to a common ground, but we also have to recognize that Trump aside, President aside, do we think that we're winning
Mm.
this crypto blockchain race as a country,
Good question.
right? And if we plan on winning, we have to put him aside for a second. Like, we got to be able to navigate what's better for the country, and then we can figure out, you can figure out that situation separately, try and decouple it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, what's better for the country? We have places like Singapore
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to this technology. They're the best place to go work.
Mm.
They're one of the top places to, manage this industry. Hong Kong, right? So, these places will be heralded, and it's starting to be heralded as the financial capitals of the world, and like New York, and we gotta be able to. I mean, we do compete with that because the stock market obviously is trumping all of that. Need to be sure that we can, play a strong role in this, especially over time as more and more countries get into the mix. So, at the end of the day, I think that if we don't reach some type of agreement and we continue to bite our nose off to spite our face, we're going to be in a bad position. So, I hope as he had told us, they're in that space of trying to figure out right now, like, as long as, everybody, specifically what Tia mentioned from one of the people that were there, was this, like, the best bill is one that everybody feels like they lost on.
That makes sense.
All right, so if we can walk away from that, if we can get a bill in the next month where all parties feel like they have to give up the compromise, then that looks like we have a win.
Nah, Chiefs, thank you so much for that insight, giving everybody an update on what's going on with the act. You know, man, it's a great job that Tia has. She has a very strong and important role with her position as president of Georgia chapter for Stanley Crypto. So to get this information that Chiefs have provided us is very valuable, and very, very understandable that why would Trump slow down in crypto, because he has a lot of dealings and they trying to slow him down. But yet, by trying to slow him down, they slowing down innovation. To to Joe's point, from what he was saying, what Tia was saying, other countries are going to benefit and they're going to be at the forefront of this. So it's important because I do know that they're trying to uncouple, like to Jesus' point, they're trying to uncouple, what politicians can and cannot do when it comes to investing in stocks and crypto. So there are several, bills that they're trying to get passed to prevent politicians and their family members from profiting off of, crypto and stock, because truly they're gonna craft legislation and give them insider information. We see what's going on with Nancy Pelosi, So yeah, great concerns, and totally appreciate all of the information that Tia has shared with the community, so you can, filter that down to us on the pod. Appreciate that, bro. Blue, you got your hand up.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
I was gonna say, I think that we should also understand that we're in a setting that has never been ever in the history of our country, as far as like how our government is functioning through our president. And knowing and seeing like what these establishments are doing. So if we see like what JP Morgan is doing, if we see what Bank of America is doing, they've positioned themselves to get ready. This is just, it's going to pass. There are things that the country did not agree with, but they moved forward with it regardless. The banks have positioned themselves to be ready for this. Wall Street is now clearly ready to come in. And they need this to pass before the end of the summer. Like if they let this go, they're not going to let it go into November. That's not happening. If you look at what Tommy Lee is doing, if you look at what Michael Saylor is saying, there's a reason why he sold that Bitcoin for a reason, so that the banks would have to acknowledge his loss on the books. Because all these guys have unrealized loss on their books, and it's millions of dollars in Bitcoin, but it's not reported because it's an unrealized loss. So I think that we should all just prepare ourselves with all the performative things that are going to happen and realize they are going to pass the Clarity Act. I don't see them being able to stop Congress members or anybody who's in politics not to use crypto. That's like saying they can't use the US dollar. I don't see that going down. And if they do try to pass a bill like that, they're going to have something set up where it's just ghost accounts. There are people who know how to hide their transactions. So I would just definitely say that look at what is going on. There's going to be a lot of back and forth between Jamie and Brian, trying to distract us and this and that. And then we're going to wake up and Bitcoin is going to be at a certain number. All these people have already moved in. We just talked about, they're tying Bitcoin to trash. It's our trash doesn't matter anymore. So we have to attach ourselves to Bitcoin. So yeah, that's my take. I think everybody needs to prepare themselves, be ready. DCA, whatever, make sure that you're understanding self-custody, because it's going to get really, really, really crazy. And it's the boomers and I think the younger generation can be taken advantage of on how some of these, when this bill passes and what's going to go down. But that's just my thought.
Now, Blue, you highlighted a lot of great points and some concerns as well too. So, yeah, man. Hopefully, people will take heed and understand the ethos of crypto is to be the custodian of your own digital. You can do that. You'll be better off. Because the banks, even with your regular U.S. dollars, you put it in the bank, they have reserve where they can take a certain amount. I think the percentage went up. It went from they at least had to have 15% of your money in the bank. Now I believe it's less than that they can just go ahead and just play with your bread. You know what I'm saying? They invest it, they loan it out. That's what they do. So same thing with crypto, man. Same thing with crypto. But nah, Blue, you brought up a lot of great points, and it's gonna be interesting to see the ways and the methods they're gonna go to preventing people in politics from investing. But they're gonna doing it like you said, man. They're gonna have ghost accounts. They're gonna find ways to hide that money. So yes, appreciate both my co-hosts' thoughts and concerns. So let's talk about Alchemy. I thought this one was pretty dope. So Alchemy, they have launched an agent card, a new U.S. Visa-powered virtual payment card designed specifically for AI agents, allowing autonomous software to make purchases, manage subscriptions, pay for services, and interact with online commerce systems using both traditional payment and crypto-based payment rails. Built on Visa's intelligent commerce infrastructure, Agent Card provides Visa payment token. See that? Visa getting their own little token. So the platform also supports emerging machine-to-machine payment technologies such as Coinbase's X402 payment protocol, crypto wallet payments, and tokenized transactions, reflecting the growing convergence of traditional finance and blockchain infrastructure. Y'all really like this story, man, because a lot of developers here, they use AI. But to see Alchemy teaming up with Visa to give these AI agents their own Visa card, which is craziest. They're gonna have their own identity tied through it through the Coinbase X402 payment protocol. This is gonna be crazy. They're gonna have their own wallets. Think about this. They can manage subscriptions. So you know how you might have like 5 or 6 subscriptions that you might have forgot about. And now you could just have an agent just go in and just make sure like, hey, to actually continue to use, so go through my bank account, and just make sure that you can eliminate certain subscriptions that I no longer use. In Coinbase. So I really like this. I really like what Alchemy's doing. So gotta ask my co-host, who wanna take this first? What's your thoughts on Alchemy launching this agent card partnership with Visa and Coinbase? You wanna go first, Cheese?
Yeah, I can go
All right. We do have one request. We got Cash Vegas. Cash, how you doing? She's reporting live from Hawaii. How you doing, Cash? Cheese, before you share your thoughts, we're gonna see what Cash has to say on any of these topics.
Hey, are you guys able to hear me?
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
on the coconut wireless. I already see it. It's like, you're losing connection. You're losing it. It's like warning me. So I went to first
Man, as soon as you said losing connection, you started losing the connection. Hopefully, she said coconut wireless. That was funny. But yo, Cash, go ahead and test the mic again. She looked like she might because now it's saying connecting. All right, try it again.
She got dropped in.
All right, it looked like, man, you're having technical difficulties. I still got you as a speaker, so hopefully, you gotta send another request. All right, she got rubbed, y'all. Pardon us for the technical difficulties, but she is back on stage to share her thoughts.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. The floor is yours.
Okay, so I have to move to another coconut tree again. Get this wire. This covered. I was going to say real quick on the agent piece and what you're bringing up about Alchemy. Rocket Money for a while has had pretty much like automated systems that can cancel extra subscriptions. I don't know if you've seen their commercials before. They go around, like interview people like, oh, how many subscriptions do you have? I'll give you $100 if you can guess. And they're like, oh, maybe 4. And then they'll be like, you have 15. And they're like, what? I have so much money, I don't even know when it's being, used. That's how I think of certain people. I'm like, how do you not know something's taking $200 out of your account? That's some rich people problems. Like, you don't even notice. But anyways, the Rocket Money thing is that you can just from the app just kind of have it search for all your subscriptions and see if you're double paying or you wanted to cancel something and never canceled yet. You can do it immediately from there. So there's tech for that already for sure. But some parts they'll be like, oh, we can't do it for you. You have to contact Adobe directly, to cancel this one. So there's some pieces where you might get bottlenecked or stuck. But the ironic thing about that app is they're also a subscription. So I remember getting it and I was like, this could be useful. And it's $9.99. It's a subscription itself. It's an app that has a subscription. So that kind of ironically cracked me up. But they have a lot of financial tools in there too that I think makes it worth it if you need that organization. But I don't have too many subscriptions running wild, so I can't I don't really need this, or the organization and all the other helpful tools. I know exactly what's going in my account and what's not. So, but it is helpful, I would say, for those who kind of have to manage a lot. But on the alchemy thing, having your own account to, do things like you mentioned, cancel things for you, buy things for you, subscribe things. This is where it gets a little crazy, because what if it's like, I think you need Claude Pro. I don't think you can just use this version of Claude. So I went ahead and subscribed you to $200 a month. And you gave me the power of this Visa card, and I think you need this Claude. Like, we're gonna start having companions that are making decisions. Like, they're gonna be like financial decision makers for us when we do this. I mean, there could be a very wild version of this in the near future. But my only question, though, is, say I pay for something, right? And then I have my agent's paying for other things. It has its own card, it has its constraints. Okay, you only get $100 a month, right? Or whatever I want to give my constraints to my card. Do I get taxed, this, like, with me plus my agent combined? Or is my agent, are there taxes, like, as almost a separate entity? If my agent makes money and my agent has a job, so to speak, with me, are there, like, what rules apply to agents with autonomy like that? I think the beginning is always going to be these small ways that we use agents. But imagine some enterprise that has like $100,000 a month budget for their AI agent or agents. Like, what does that look like of agents being considered citizens of the country that the owner lives in? That's kind of my thought. Is like, I don't know. That'd be really interesting. It's just like, how are they taxable or not? Like, are they independent? Are they? Yeah, that's kind of my question to the group. Is like thoughts on that.
Man, that's a rabbit hole question right there. Like having virtual citizenship at these AI agents. I'm sure that they probably got end up doing that somewhere down the line so they can tax them. I only thought about that based on what you were saying, because as soon as you said like citizenship, I'm like, damn, that might be the way just to tax the agents. How are they going to tax them? But as soon as you said citizenship, that might be a way to be like, yo, if you're a certified agent, an AI agent and a bot, and you have access to a digital wallet and you can manage subscriptions and buy stuff and all of this, that's a good point and a great question. Citizenship and taxation. Man, Cass, thank you for that perspective and those thoughts. Who want to follow up with that? Who wants to go? Cheese or blue? Blue cheese.
I can go.
Let cheese go.
Yeah, I have thoughts. Like piggybacking off of part of what Cass was saying is the internet in itself is changing. So they sometimes, like, you may have an agent that has all this money, but really sometimes I just think about that as auto pay, right? Like if you put your bills on auto pay, at some point in time there was like a ledger that goes, it runs on the computer, it runs on the server, and it calls your bank account and it gets the money out of your bank account and it puts it in, sends it off. The old like clarification point that we all are kind of like concerned about is like, well, what happens when these things go rogue, right? Because there's so much like built up marketing around like the idea that these things are so autonomous, and they are, but the autonomy will proceed, will eventually release us of our. It's interesting thing to think about because the internet in itself is evolving. Like today, the internet is a string of API calls, right?
Mm.
I open my phone,
Mm-hmm.
I tap Instagram. Instagram calls an Instagram endpoint, and based upon my followers, it pulls back the content that is on their account, and it shows that to me.
Mm.
That's an API call,
Mm.
right?
Got you. Okay.
And when you tap this button, another API call is made to do certain things, right? So this X402 concept, which is like every time you go to an endpoint, right, it's now a currency charge, right? That's a form of like economy, but it's also a form of like security to ensure that this endpoints are the internet is more secure, right? So that's why I'm saying this. The internet is going through a major upgrade. Agents are seen as one part of it, right? Like if you think about agents in the personified manner, but there's also agents in the straight, all those infrastructure agents which are just going to be moving things back and forth more autonomously and securely. And
Good point.
I'll say this one last thing, and that is what I really want to know about is the agent gig economy.
Mm-hmm.
That's some homework that I still have on my plate for myself. I think it's going to be a lot of opportunity in that space, agent gig economy.
Mm.
Reason why I say that is there's a lot of sites right now you got to think about are under pressure, right? Like Behance and or Fiverr, right? Or Envato, right? These platforms today, like Envato, for example, Envato came up as a platform where creatives can go and like sell their fonts, their templates, whatever their creatives, right? They're basically their brand kits, and you can sell that as work.
Right.
Envato has, you can go to Envato, you can access Higginsfield, you can access Gemini, Nano Banana.
Wow.
You can access a bunch of AI content tools. Now, for Envato, what this is like they already built a trusted user base, right? So now if they can just give their user base, say, scratch, you don't need $20 a month with Claude, pay us additional money and you get access to all these on a per usage basis, right? Now you retain these customers, but now each of these like models on the platform Envato become like almost like an extra revenue point by which Envato can now capture people who just come to the website to use AI tools, right? So that's one. And then two, that leads me to think now, this agent gig economy, what does that really look like when, AIs are scouring the internet and, Gold has a website with, agentic services, and you just looking at your bank account and you're getting residual income because you put these 5 endpoints up on your website, right? You put specifically these 5 endpoints up on your website, and now you're making residual income. So that's where my mind has been at. Is like, what are those endpoints that we need to be building? X402 endpoints, and how we start getting agents to start checking us out. It's a new storefront that we're not paying attention to, I think so.
Geez, you smoked that, bro. You smoked that, man. If I had my sound effect shit up, I would send the air horns and all that. But like real talk, you smoked that, bro. I really like the fact that you brought up agent gig economy. Nobody. I know you're a very intelligent person, man, but I never heard anybody mention that yet. You know what I mean? I think you're the first person I heard mention. So the agent economy is coming into your like personal crypto.com. For everybody who signed up for the subscription, we'll get your newsletter tonight. But that was when I used Envato for choosing themes for how I want the layout for my website to look. So now you're saying like these agents now have access to these new tools, like Claude or Gemini or Nano Banana, and now I can have more of a customized, unique, template for my website now. You know what I'm saying? Because now these agents are running parts of the platform now. I really like the point that you brought out with that, man. That's the AI agent gig economy. What is that gonna look like? That's yeah, geez. I already know you're cooking. I already know you're cooking.
Yeah, you gotta figure it out.
That's right. That's right.
That's residual income.
That's right. Most definitely. Cass, what's your thoughts on this?
Yes, thank you. There's a site that I've been using for years, and it's been around for years longer than I've been using it. On top of that, but it's called There's an AI for that, and I feel like that's an early example of AI gig economy, and even for those who create those tooling, kind of that passive income people are looking for. They create it, it gets put up on that site. That's a good site, but also Google has a marketplace. AWS has a marketplace. Google has an entire marketplace of AI agents called Vertex. Actually, they changed it to like Google Agent. They called it something more obvious because it was called Vertex AI. But you can pretty much like pay for agents that are at a high level that Google is willing to put on their marketplace of agents.
Wow.
That's actually one of the alphas of what I'm gonna do for what I'm building is tap into the marketplaces of enterprise. So like Google has their marketplace, like I said, AWS has theirs, and basically companies get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of AI credits that they burn to use on tools within those marketplaces. So you have to pass, strict builds and things like that for them to obviously put you on your marketplace. It's not like Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or something like that. It's like you have to pass very high level security and and kind of like functionality or usage for them to be able to put you on their marketplace. There's a whole play with that too, because then, like I said, these companies with credits, they can just use your tool, and it doesn't cost them out of pocket. So instead of going to market, cold calls, build your network, pay someone to get you into this and that, you can just apply, get your business savvy, apply to the marketplace, and you have Fortune 500 companies not paying out of pocket. They're paying out of credits. They're paying out of credits that they're given, and they're paying for your tools. So you can get all those companies right there if you're a part of that marketplace. So that's kind of a piece of alpha or a marketing strategy besides just going door to door. But that also taps into what Joe was saying, thinking about like the agent gig economy. Where are they? Are you building for it? Are you preparing for it? So yeah, Google has a whole marketplace just of AI agents. But I think another future-proof thought on top of what Joe was talking about, because it's going to be a saturation of like, where do I find an AI agent, or what do I build that I think people need, right? That's what Joe's thinking of. He's like, what do I need to build? What do we need to build that people are going to be like, oh, I want an AI agent for that, right? The other future-proof thing is, well, I'm hoping it's future-proof. It's just something I'm working on, which is the evaluation of AI. Don't give it as a user or someone who's going to be a user in this new AI gig economy, how do you know what's a good agent or not? You know? And so if you have a tool that evaluates that, besides just an index, right? Like how I mentioned, there's an AI for that. That's a website. That's an index. That's an aggregation of type in what you want and we'll pop up all the AI agents or AI tools that do what you want. But you also, besides indexing and aggregating, you need to evaluate them, right? That's why they have like reviews on there. Like, hey, I use this. This helped me, build a website, or this helped me make a commercial. 5 stars on that tool. And you can read up. They'll give little descriptions about that. So another good way is to think about, hey, this AI agent market is going to become exciting and saturated, but you could also be the person that builds the recommendations of those agents. Everyone can build one here, check out Skylark. You know what I mean? It's like
That's right.
we could just like pump each other's AI agents and build a marketplace of our own, so to speak. So I think that's another future-proof thought is like evaluation of AI agents, not ruling them out as just low-level bots, but accepting, hey, this is the new internet we're walking into, and then being a part of like pretty much the inside network where companies have money to spend to try your AI agent or your tool. Like get in that network. Because people have money to spend. That's kind of my 2 cents.
Facts.
Man, Cash, you smoked that. That's another air horn. Like, yo, you smoked that. You absolutely smoked that. Both you and Cheese killed that. So, man, imagine that. Us having our own individual agents that specialize in what we do. Yours with the gamification, mine with design. Like, crazy. Valuations, like, yeah, there's gonna be ways we're gonna need to gauge the performance of these agents. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like she said.
Yo, for AI agents.
That's exactly what I was thinking about as soon as Cash said that. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's something somebody here at ABC can build. A Yelp for AI agents. Like I said, great ideas coming out of this podcast, man. I swear to God, it's brilliant thoughts and ideas. Blue, what's your thoughts on this?
I think they honestly really smoked it. And I'm gonna just let it sit with that. The gravy is already poured up. It was good.
I respect that. Yeah, they absolutely both cooked and killed that, man. For real, y'all. I appreciate both of y'all thoughts and perspective, man. Man, y'all highlighting some great points with that, man. And sometimes, when I have these articles that I go over before I actually, decide if we're gonna discuss them on a pod, I want to see the value, because that's the thing that we bring to you guys every Sunday, every Thursday. We bring you guys value. And I look at some of these articles and I think about my community. And because there's such, so many brilliant minds here, I knew a story like this. Sometimes I think one story might have a lot of legs and a lot of commentary, and sometimes it don't. But stories like this, man, I'm glad that the thoughts that Just Cheese and Cass have given to the community was very high value. All right, so I appreciate both of y'all thoughts. All right, so let's talk about Algorand. I actually like this story too, because I think this is something that a lot of blockchains are going to have to face and tackle eventually, which is quantum computing. Okay, so let's talk about Algorand. All right, so Algorand is advancing its goal of becoming one of the world's first fully quantum-resistant blockchains, announcing plans to complete key upgrades by the end of 2027 that would protect the network from future quantum computing attacks. Okay, As concerns grow that powerful quantum computers could eventually break the cryptographic system securing cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ethereum, Algorand says it's already implemented several post-quantum security measures, including state proofs powered by Falcon signatures. Shout out to Falcon. They actually tapped in Falcon 5, but that's so dope. This is powered by Falcon Signatures, a quantum-resistant cryptographic standard selected by National Institute of Standards and Technology. The network also claims to have executed the first quantum-resistant transaction on a public blockchain mainnet in 2025. So shout out to Algorand, one of the Swift banking system, one of those blockchains that have been pretty much approved by Swift. There's only a handful of them, and I know Algorand is one of them. So this is a major announcement that Algorand has set out to the world and other networks. Like, hey, y'all gonna have to be quantum proof. Now, we already discussed this in the past about there's certain people in the Bitcoin community, like Bitcoin core developers, having to face this challenge as well, as far as Bitcoin being quantum resistant, and that means there are going to have to be some kind of upgrades or modifications to that network. We will have to monitor this situation very, very closely to see what Bitcoin and Ethereum does as far as being quantum computing resistant. But we're going to have to ask my co-hosts first, what's your thoughts on Algorand potentially just being at the forefront of quantum resisting? And do you think Bitcoin and Ethereum will eventually get on board and actually make some kind of modifications to their protocol to prevent their network from being hacked by quantum computing? Who wants to go first?
I do.
Blue, the floor is yours.
I mean, the quantum threat is real, but the fear is like misplaced. It's not a Bitcoin emergency today. We're not going to see quantum computing for at least another 6 or 7 years. It's a future cybersecurity issue for like the entire digital world. Algorand is using this moment to say we're not waiting for Q-Day. We're building quantum system resistance, into a chain before the institutions demands it. I think, yes, they need to be prepared, but, quote, old good sailor, the future global, encryption problem into a reason to panic to sell Bitcoin today, right? Because if quantum computing is right now, protection, payment networks, certifications, the crypto wallets off of it. Like, the quantum becomes powerful enough to break Bitcoin signatures, then Bitcoin is not alone. So, same class of threat, it hits the system behind modern finance and national security and internet. So the whole world, would be forced to upgrade their crypto, would be their grass top up. I can't even say the word.
Cryptography?
They all have to upgrade it.
Yes. You're 100% right. Totally agree. You smoke that. Think about it. To your point, crypto, the entire industry is about 2.2 trillion, somewhere around there, roughly, right? Bitcoin is half of that. That's the least of our worries. You know what I'm saying? Because in the grand scheme of things, there's so many other major entities that are worth way more. You know what I'm saying? just from quantum computing in national scale, probably not that high on the priority scale. You know what I'm saying? Because there's much more things that need to be protected and that have more value. You know what I'm saying? That we got to worry about being hacked. You know, to Blue's point, man, she mentioned pretty much all of the industries that could be vulnerable to that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you absolutely spoke that. But
I wanted to say
go
though,
ahead, go
real
ahead, go
quick,
ahead.
like, so the play, it's not just technical, it's branding, right? Because Bitcoin owns digital money, ETH owners, like owns developers, Algorithm, like they're trying to own the future security, like institutional blockchain link. So like Bitcoin is like we got the digital money, ETH is like we got the developers. They like look, we gotta have some too. So I think it's also like branding.
Hey, I like that point. That's important for brand. So appreciate all of the perspectives today. Her commentary, you know, even when she steps down, you know, smoke this particular story too, man. So there are much more things to worry about bigger than Bitcoin, and it's on point for branding because, to her point, they can just run on that alone. Because for every business, you need some kind of branding, some kind of slogan. Because actually, me and Chief talk about a slogan for Mint Marquee, but yeah, especially in Web3, branding is super important. How are you going to market yourself? So if Algorand is marketing themselves as being quantum resistant, hey, that's going to look very, appealing to a lot of enterprises. You know, great point, Blue. Cheese, what's your thoughts on this, brother?
Yeah, I agree with everything Lou said. I mean, just to add on, going back to my point earlier about security, right? Like, every new development of technology had its own concerns with security,
That's right.
right? The internet came, and we're now we were now subject to email viruses, right, and those type of things, and past hackers and the amount of money that gets taken out on identity theft today, right? So, the key thing is those who have access to the capabilities to do it are the ones that are most concerned that could potentially do harm, right? So again, going back to the current days, those who can hack are hackers, right? Now you gotta be able to afford a quantum computer to do quantum hacking. Who's gonna do that?
Good point. Good point,
Who's gonna do that? So I definitely agree. It's more so a national security thing, and the companies that are capable of affording to do that, right? I think this is another point to Blue's point is we're gonna see a lot more competition about who can solve it before we even worry about who's actually going to get hurt from it, right? Because the solutions are coming before the problem has even taken place.
Good point. That was a perfect way to jump that particular article, man. This story is very important, and to both my co-hosts' point in their commentary, highlighting the companies that are going to be looking at Algorand on an enterprise level, because they're dealing with the problem ahead of time, like she's just saying. You know what I'm saying? Just, I love both of y'all points, you know what I'm saying? Because it kind of went together like peanut butter and jelly, just the companies that are going to be.
I like blue cheese.
That's right, like blue cheese. You know what I'm saying? That's right, man. Go, man. That's a that's a crazy. I like that, man. That's a crazy analogy. I really like that, man. But yeah, y'all both spoke that, man. I appreciate both of y'all thoughts on that. And just to give people, a heads up on where Algorand is right now, it's number 64, right, on CoinMarketCap. It has an $800 million market cap, and it's sitting at 9 cents right now, right? Its all-time high was $3.28. So think about that. If this seems like the so-called thing happening, it's to get. This is a steal, not financial advice. All right, do your own research. We are not financial advisors. We are simply giving you information. All right, but this kind of insight that you're getting here, we deep dive on stuff, and because we have very knowledgeable people in the space, I'm proud of, the people that I have in this community, man. My crypto crew, my ABC fam, man. Y'all are brilliant, man. So I love the perspectives that y'all bring and y'all thoughts, man. So the last story that we are going to talk about today, and I briefly touched on this Thursday, but I want to bring this back mainly because this is like the first successful NFT project, and it's Pudgy Penguins that we're going to talk about. And to me, out of all of the NFT crypto top space, right? I just think Pudgy Penguins had that eight kind of dropped the, didn't really roll out things like I thought they would, but Pudgy Penguins, between their partnerships, between their branding, man, they've been smoking a lot of shit. They launched a token that went well, even though the token is under a half a penny right now, so that's a steal, not financial advice. But this is the first thing that I saw that Pudgy Penguins, kind of failed at, and it was interesting. And the reason why I wanted to bring this back, because I really feel like, because of Thursday, we didn't get a chance to do a deep dive on this, but I really want to go a little bit further into why do you think this project failed. So let's talk about it, all right? So Pudgy Penguins has officially shut down Pudgy Party, its mobile battle royale game developed with Mythical Games less than a year after launch. Despite surpassing 1 million downloads and achieving early success on mobile app charts. So the game, which combined obstacle course gameplay with Pudgy Penguins branding and NFT integrations, initially attracted significant attention to player engagement. According to comments from CEO Luca Nets, shout out to Luca Nets, the project leading leadership to discontinue the game and focus entirely on Pudgy World, a browser-based virtual experience that the company fully controls. So while Pudgy Penguins views Pudgy World as a stronger, long-term platform for expanding its ecosystem into gaming, entertainment, licensing, and digital experiences, the shutdown has raised concerns among NFT holders regarding the future utility of in-game collectibles and purchased digital assets. So, all right, now, because they have a browser-based game, that ain't going nowhere, but they're shutting down their mobile Pudgy Party game. There were still in-game assets for that game. So I'm sure the people who collected and won these in-game assets, how are they gonna, cash this thing out now? And if they have a certain time to do it, I can see that. But some of these collectibles are gonna be, worthless. So the harder time and money that people went into earning these digital in-game assets. Hey, I finally got my damn device coming. My Solana Play. Y'all know how long ago I bought that in October of 2025, and they just said, "Hey, we're shipping it out now, so it should be here this week." So I'm finally gonna have my Pudgy Payment Play device. I say all that to say this: like, I didn't even know if that game Pudgy Party would be on the mobile Solana Play device, right? But if it did, I didn't even have a chance to actually play the damn game because the device, they just shipped it out. And this Pudgy game, right, this Pudgy World game that they shut down, Pudgy Party, man, I guess it wasn't, maybe people got bored, it was too easy to play, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why the player engagement tanked, but apparently, you know, the game, I guess it wasn't hitting. You know, maybe it just wasn't fascinating. Maybe it just wasn't anything new or innovative. Maybe they took pages out of like Mario Kart games to create this. Who knows? But I've seen that opinion effect. So, you know, and not to say, but I just true. They did a pivot. They read the writing on the wall, and they stuck to the browser game. So you can still play Pudgy World, but the Pudgy Party is finito. Okay. So I gotta ask my co-host, what's your thoughts on the Pudgy Penguin brand itself, the Pengu token, Luca Nets, and this particular platform, the mobile platform, this game, Pudgy Party is shutting down. Who wants to go first?
I can go.
You want to go first? All right. And also, we got a few requests. For some reason, Blue wasn't able to jump up on the stage. I don't know. She must have got rubbed. And we got somebody by the name of BG the Great. We're going to throw him up on the stage. Somebody by the name of Ali wants to speak. And this might be a bot, but it's a bot clash arena. All right, post play. All right, what's going on, post play? We're going to throw you up on the stage and see what your thoughts are. And Blue, you got your hand up first, so go ahead, the floor is yours. Blue, I hear you, babe. I don't know if you got rubbed, but go ahead and touch the mic. 1, 2, 2. Blue. Man, Blue got rubbed. Blue got rubbed. All right. We're gonna bring Blue back up on stage, and we're gonna have Ali take the floor. Ali, how you doing? We appreciate you tapping in. What's your thoughts? All right, Ali. We're gonna give you another shot, but we're gonna move on to the other individual who tapped in. Postpay, blockchain, what's going on? The floor is yours.
How you doing?
I'm good. Appreciate you tapping in, bro.
Thank you, brother. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, man. Happy Father's Day to you, if you are a dad. But what's your thoughts, bro?
I think, to be honest, if you're gonna make a game, like, you gotta make a game that has some form of, like, level of retention. It's not something very easy for someone to just click. There has to be a little bit more thinking behind it, you know, when it comes to, like, protocol to yourself and how you, present to players to have them keep coming back, you know. Instagram is a great example of that. They target your endorphins, right? So those likes, when you hit it, you feel a high, a rush, you want it again, you know. So you gotta make it something similar to where it's almost a high to play the game, you know.
Now that's a great point, man. You must be a gamer, man. I like your commentary on that. So let me ask you, have you played the Pudgy Party game?
No, I've only seen YouTube videos of it, to be honest. I've never actually played it myself.
Got you. But you did bring up a few good points, you know, as far as just people playing these games and having these endorphins going off, you know, just for accomplishing certain parts of the game. That is important. You know what I'm saying? It can't be boring, it can't be dull. So I never played the game, so I don't know what they missed the mark on, but you hit on a lot of great points as far as coming from a gamer's perspective, man. But thank you for tapping in, man. We appreciate that. We appreciate that, man. So I know Blue, she got grub. So I'm gonna have Blue share her thoughts, and then we're gonna have Pulsepay share their thoughts as well.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. We got you.
Bet. Yeah, I mean, I'm really familiar with the NFT community. To the point like fast in the morning, and it was like a couple thousand people. And the question was, do NFT holders matter anymore? And what really is like the utility of holding these NFTs if the founders aren't communicating the best, or if it's like, I've invested in this to help you launch this product, because NFTs are different. Communities are different when your community is paying for these launches and things like that. I do think they released I think Google just released something where it's like it's an instrument that's going to release tokens to give like equity back to the holders or something like that.
Okay.
And hurry up and release that to like put out fire of the game. I did play the game, and I have friends that have like that they paid for. So it's definitely like a sore punch to the holders, just because this play doesn't seem like it went the best, and it hurt people, right? But I think that they're gonna release several different things to try to like soothe that, and it ended up sparking another conversation where it kind of compared itself. People started comparing and asking questions about Azuki. And that started a whole thing too. But yeah, it's quite interesting. Did they do this because the partnership was with Mythical Games? And so it's interesting. Were they just trying to learn how to do everything and then do something like Nike did and then pull out once they got information? I don't know. But it does still question, do we as holders matter? And what are other, because there's a lot of things that are sunset. So it's quite interesting on what's happening. But because of the other things that look at it is like putting out.
Man, Blue, thank you for that insight. I knew you was gonna have a lot of great info on that, man. I knew you were tapped into that. So thank you for providing the community and our listeners with that insight, man. So we gotta ask a new listener, Postpay blockchain. What's going on? How you doing? Appreciate you tapping in, and what's your thoughts?
I think a lot of it is like not really forward thinking in the sense of like where the direction, maybe where they want it to go. A lot of times when you get your feet wet in a market where at the time it's really a great market and you don't know where the legal line kind of like teeters, it's hard to sum up where you're going to be at the end of it all. But you have to put your pinky toe in the water, right, to see where things go. And unfortunately, a lot of projects that what it has to be because they really don't think of the end goal, where they want to be. They just know that they had a moment, and the moment came, and they don't want the moment to come and leave, so they try to make as much out of it as possible. With spending money in ways that's not supposed to be spent, and doing things, or that's not supposed to lead. All roads lead back to, well, it just being shut down, right? Or the money goes quicker than they think, and unfortunately, it goes back to square one where they begin with nothing, right? So just be cautious with the forward thinking of direction of where like your projects you want it to be, the end goal, and that's ultimately where you want to stick. That's your ultimatum, right? So yeah.
Nah, I appreciate your thoughts on that, man. You highlighted a great point, man. Were they just there for a moment, or obviously, to your point, man, they didn't look long term at this project, Maybe they just want to like you said, test the waters, and also to Blue's point, maybe they got the inside or on the gaming industry and was like, hey, we're thinking about expanding here, so let's try it, But at the same time, some of the reputation project lose spaces with people. Everybody made great points. I really appreciate, the new list across this particular spaces today. And that goes to Ali and Postpay.
Actually, I followed Ali in your admin.
Oh, post BFB. Yeah, thanks for following me. And I've known you before. I think we have even jumped on a call before. I've seen you on the stream before when you came into the Skylark page. But I don't know, maybe the policy first launch on page, but I've known you before. So I just see Skylark on the space. I'm like, hey, let me try and I heard your voice and you're talking about the poly when shutting down. So yeah, when you were calling me, I was saying something else. So yeah, I think this is not the first time I'm doing it this way, but literally on Sundays by this time I should be playing game. We just watch a movie. That's why I just don't up on sleep. But now I'm just free. I think I've played games. I'm just tired. I'm like, wait, let me just come to space and talk to some people and I see this guy. That's why I joined him. That's how it is. And I see friend also. I mean, see friend. I don't even know how to put. I think your name sounds like friend to me. You say friend.
Nah, thank both of you guys. I got Fiend up there. So we had BG. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. BG, your hand up. The floor is yours, brother, and then we're gonna follow up with Fiend.
You can hear me?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you tapping in, bro. What's your thoughts?
Sure, it's Beach the Great, it's XRP Jeff, man, so.
Okay, XLP Jeff. Hi, that's what's up, man. What's going on?
I'm good. I actually wanted to circle back to that Algorand story real quick. And it doesn't surprise me that they're going to go into push towards quantum resistance. As you said before, Algorand is a ISO 222 compliant token. But a lot of people don't know is that they joined the ISDA, which is I think it's the International Standard Derivative Association. So they're going to be handling smart derivative contracts. So if they're going to be handling that much money, because derivatives, I think that asset class is like up in the quadrillions, need to make sure that they're quantum proof or at least working towards that. So it doesn't surprise me that that's actually the case. And they've been working with the ISDA since 2019, and I think Algorand started in 2017. It's only 2 years into being created ISDA, so I think this says a lot about this project, and a lot of people sleep on it too.
Nah, Jeff, man, I appreciate you tapping in and sharing your thoughts on that too, and giving us some more, insight and backstory to the things that Algorand is doing and how long they've been cooking, man, and how fast they was able to lock in. So nah, thank you, Jeff, man. We appreciate you, man. I look forward to seeing you at ABC Thursday too, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And also, no problem, man. No problem. Definitely appreciate you, man. Also, we got Fiend. What's going on? Fiend Robos, how you doing? Appreciate you tapping in, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's good? What's good? No, I followed Ollie in here, and I was like, let me see if there's any more gamers up in there, and I see people talking about Pudgy Party, and that was a big mess. Huge mess, bro. But I think, honestly, I kind of seen a lot of this coming when it comes to these games being out of nowhere because I do a lot of research and I look at the system, the core foundation of where these games are being built on, and that's the programming languages. For me, if those programming languages cannot fix simple gaming problems, then that tells me I probably shouldn't build any games over there because he's doing better. If you're playing these games on a blockchain that can't scale into another blockchain, if I can't chat with those guys on the same game, like Web 2 can, then that's a scalability issue, which is going to hurt the business for the game that's built on it, right? So that's kind of my take on it. I kind of seen it coming. It sucks. It's a trial and error situation I think we're in when it comes to Web3 gaming is inevitable. I still believe that statement is true, but we have to look at the foundation we're building these games on first.
Man, you highlighted a great point. You know, the scalability factor in Web3. You know, these Web3 games, you know, they won't be able to handle the amount of players that these Web2 games and the interoperability, to your point too. Man, you highlighted a lot of great things, man. I appreciate you tapping in today, brother. Thank you for that, man. And how did you find the spaces? You found you followed Dollar in here?
Yeah, I followed all this. It was in a space, so I hopped in really.
Got you. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody's thoughts, man. All of my new listeners, man. Thank y'all. Blue, what's your thoughts?
No, I just wanted to say I really love all the takes and shout out to BG2. And I just followed all of you guys, Ollie and the other gentleman who just spoke. Like, y'all hit it on the head. There's people who are making games with ChatGPT and all these other AI programs, whatever, and they're able to spit these things out, right? Way better than what they were doing prior to. Like you said, their build was not compatible. I think there's a lot of issues when you have people say that they understand things and they can build it for you, but then they really can't. And then you have to watch the partnerships that you make because it was a partnership with mythical games, you know. There's a lot more low cost. Look at what apes are doing. They're spinning stuff out. They partner with Amazon for the gaming side. You know, that was a lot smarter. You know, they're incorporating things. Things are more interoperable with what they built.
Yeah, man. Know how to think long term, man, and think about not reinventing the wheel. Sometimes, you know, you might just have to partner up with another solid brand or infrastructure that help get to where you want to go, especially if you're trying to be a big game, you know. Cheese, what's your thoughts, man? Because I know you're a gamer, man. What's your thoughts, bro? Thank you for that, Blue.
So my thoughts, a lot of shared thoughts with everybody else, but ultimately speaking, one, like, Pudgy, the company, you know, I think this isn't, as like Blue said, a big deal. They'll be fine, right? When you think about the game, it's mythical games. That's really the one here that was trying to fund this to be a success, and then it's really like their pockets that are being impacted by this not going well. But I think the lesson to think about here is just like, where is your community, right? If you are going to take ownership of something, you gotta hold it and go across the finish line with it. And I think that's where we see the most success with NFTs are where the founders are deeply rooted in the community, right? You're not going to have a successful Pudgy Penguin game where a game developer company is not deeply rooted in the actual game itself, right? You can't just develop a game and then, balance it. That's not what that's not the premise of these games. These blockchain games require like deep community and and also offline incentives. That's another thing that people are starting to recognize, that if you can have an NFT collection, something physical, um, you'll be better off because people want physical items. That's a tangible thing that you can always say that you got from this NFT. I think the is important, and just not being someone who's ever played the game, I don't know what things they were doing to create retention. But again, for Pudgy, they are not at a loss. They're shifting their focus to their metaverse, quote unquote, metaverse like space. And that's because, again, that's where their community is. So, moral of the story is just like, build something. If you're going to build something, make sure your community is there, and make sure it's engageable so people keep on coming back, and give them something worth actually paying for. But at the end of the day, this is just another scenario where if it's a game, it's a game. A lot of games get built, they go under, and then the players, they move on to another game.
Nah, man, y'all all smoked that, man. Jeez, I appreciate your thoughts on that and great perspective as well, too, sir. We got Fiend and Ali with their hand up, so go ahead, Fiend, and then Ali, you can follow up.
Yeah, I was gonna touch up on the NFT. It's making video games. I had made this prediction, I want to say about 2 years ago. I was like, there's gonna come a time where all these memes are gonna come and go. And now we got AI. AI is gonna make that easier. And if any of these NFT communities wanna thrive, they don't have to tie their community into like some sort of video game. Because I look at the research, I look at the numbers. The numbers say most businesses gamify their business. In their business model, there is some sort of leaderboard, reward system. Regardless of what it is, there's a gamification inside of every business model, or most business models. And with AI, you're gonna have freaking 9-year-olds start to make video games in a couple of months, and then drop an NFT community behind that. Now, when this gets saturated, what do you think is gonna happen? We're gonna have a lot of trust issues. So when somebody said we're gonna need something tangible, something physical for incentives, I think it goes a little bit deeper than that. It's about identity. Who can we trust? We're trading with somebody on Avalanche or in Web 2 we never seen before. They're dropping links. How can we trust them? People are building major products using AI now. So I believe trust and the identity layer is going to be the biggest barrier really soon.
Man, you definitely brought up the wild card with AI and gaming, you know what I'm saying? And now you brought up this trust factor. Oh, man, great points, man, great points. I appreciate your thoughts on that. Ali, Go ahead, the floor is yours, brother.
Okay, everybody made a really good point, and yeah, because I think I just want to like back up what Fen said about when people are just exploring Web3, like they say Web3, we always say Web3 gaming is inevitable, and I really believe in that because there is this one thing I love about Web3 game that it's like an advantage for everybody people game in the Web3 ecosystem. It's not you can build community back as you have built it, not just like the Web2. In the Web2, 3 years, 4 years, they just build the game and then they just launch it. And yeah, here you are, started playing the game and maybe later. But in this industry, as you're building the game here, people are there in the community with you, sending you feedbacks, telling you, oh, I think we like this, I think we don't like this, I think you can do this, and I think you can do this. And one thing I love is that thing just shapes your product. So, there is this thing here that I've heard say about some of those games that they are building. But I think I've worked with some founders in this industry. But this one thing that I've seen is some people is they don't want to listen to you as the gamer. I've played a lot of games, yeah, and I've seen, so I've connected with some web developers. I know how these people work. So some of these founders, you might say, okay, I think they just shut down, listen to me because I see the red signs of what they are building. Maybe we can do it this way. That don't want to listen. I think that's the number one thing we have in Web3. Founders, they want feedback, but most of these people, they don't want to listen. And when it comes to games here, some of these Web3 games here, I don't know why you want to build your game and you make it a browser game, or maybe somebody needs to like play your game through wallets. Nobody wants to do that anymore.
Right.
So there are billions of gamers in the world, and we only have, what let me just say, 100, like the total number of gamers, let me just say 100%, we have only 0.7% of Web3 gamers, and I don't even think, even if in the war, we can win against the Web2. So, we can't beat them, so we need to join them. So most of these games that, oh, I want to games, okay, let me just say, okay, make your game a browser game, but let people access your game with, let me just say, just Gmail or any other email of the thing. Don't include wallets, because you don't know when I don't know about it back in the Delta, and I want to get myself involved with crypto. Whenever I want to play game and tell me, okay, I want to play this game, just connect your wallet, I will just piss off and leave. So it's about the scalability of the product that you guys are building. If you want to build something the way Web3 or Web2 games are building game. I'm not just making like, well, I think if I should be a founder by myself, I have the money that I want to build a game. I think I'll build one of the best games in Web3, even if I want to integrate seriously, because there's this one of my guy that I talked to about games that I explained everything because I've learned with, I have a German friend. He's in Germany, but he's a very good developer. He has developed a lot of indie games, I think he's one of the developers of, if anyone knows this game, Mayan, it's on the Play Store and Apple Store, you can search about it. So the guy is one of the developers of the game. So I talk with always, people buy good game with Engine 5. It's something that they can do. Seriously, so I don't know what's wrong with these people. They want to build game, but they don't want to take their time to build quality games, and I think that's one of the problems we are having. Just take a look at Acquaintance, Fortnite. Okay, when we talk about gaming economy, I think Acquaintance is one of the games that I can put first, because I just love the game. People go to the market, you can buy things, sell things. I can just put something on the market. Okay, I think I want a defect, go and get a defect for me, and people go into risk their looks for just what I want in the marketplace and come get that thing from and come and sell it for me. That's kind of economy, and people are not complaining about this thing. Like I don't know. Maybe this word crypto is something. It's like a fever to developers, because once they get into the Web3 space, they just forget about very beautiful thing like Adidas, Puma, like these because people are I don't know why Web3 games are not looking into those sides. So that just is so. I don't want to talk much, but I think we need to do more better, and we need to listen to people that know about the industry. I've been playing game. Let me just say throughout my life. Instead of playing game around maybe when I was 14, sorry, I say 44 years old, and the very first time I owned my game shop was when I was 14. I have a lot of games. Then my daddy used to buy me a lot of games. So I just like, okay, these games are just sitting in my room. And then I I went ahead and just create a shop around my house and then put it there with TVs and people started. I was doing gaming business. I was going to school.
That's unique.
So whenever I'm back from school, I'll just go open the shop and people just come, my friends, everybody just come play game and just give me some money, play games and give me some money. And when we relocated, we relocated. So when I changed location, so the place I was also managing a very big gaming center in the way we call it an African gaming center. I was in university then when I was managing this gaming center. It's a very big gaming center. People just come play PS4, PS5. So any type of game that you want to play, they have it. So I think people need to just maybe employ the people that understand the industry. I think and that was one of the downfall of Axie Infinity when they first launched. So when they want to employ, the game was good, but at the long run, they just spoiled the product by themselves, right from the ambassadors and the people that they get involved in the team. And that's how it just because when you surround yourself with people that don't even know what you are building, you mess yourself up. Because it's not about maybe this guy you have a very big follower or you have influence. It's about people that understand that resonate with what you are building. So I don't want to talk much, but that's just the little thing I want to talk about the industry and the kind of mistakes that founders are making.
Ali, man, thank you for that, man. You covered, man, but some of the things that I'm gonna just sum up that you mentioned that these developers, number one, they need to listen to the players and, I guess have more engagement with the players as they're developing this so they can get, firsthand account on what works and what doesn't. And also another thing you mentioned was the barrier to entry. Like you said, you didn't want to have access a game through your wallet, or tell people that you're having to navigate a game through Web3. People don't want to see that or hear that. People don't want to see the wires. You got to hide the wires and just have a fun, interactive game. But nah, man, you touched on a lot, man, and I'm glad and I'm proud of you, man, for launching a gaming center out there in Africa. That sounds, extremely innovative, and you took advantage of having all of those gaming systems and entertaining, your community out there, man. So hats off to you, man. Much props to you, and I appreciate you tapping in. I appreciate, everybody's thoughts, man. Well, I'm gonna just tell y'all like this. Hey, Blue, you got your hand up. Go ahead. We're gonna end it off with your thoughts, cause my daughters are waiting for me, y'all. So I'm about to pull up on my babies. But go ahead, Blue.
I just want you to enjoy your Father's Day. And I was gonna say, Ali, if you're open, I'd like to have a conversation with you offline. Hit me in the DM if you're open. So, brother, I hope you enjoy yourself today.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, I hope everybody enjoy their time today. If you got a dad, give him a shout out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, the dad, they get the short end of the stick when it comes to, the spoils and the perks of life. But yeah, man, shout out to all of the dads who are active in their kids' lives. And shout out to the grandparents, the stepdad. You know what I'm saying? You holding it down. Holding down somebody else's kid, that may not be yours, but that's commendable, man. So shout out to all of the men doing the right thing. And I feel like we get our blessings when we take care of our kids, man. Because our kids are half of us, man. Why wouldn't we want to take care of somebody that is half of you? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of bugged out to me. I always bug me out. But I'm glad to see a lot of fathers out there stepping up to the plates, man. So big shout out to all the Web3 dads out there. And shout out to Brandon too, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I know he's he's about to drop another baby soon. You know what I'm saying? Baby girl. You know what I mean? So shout out to Brandon too. I knew it was somebody else I wanted to think about earlier. That was a Web3 dad. So shout out to him too. So yeah, man. I think we covered a lot. Shout out to everybody who tapped in today. Postpaid. Shout out to Fiend. Shout out to our guy Jeff. Shout out to our co-hosts Blue and Just Cheese, Blue Cheese. I really like that, man. Shout out to Falcon 5, always tapping in. Shout out to our guy E3, you know what I mean? Representing Circle out there. And yeah, man. Go to FIFA Fan Fest, the shit is lit, and maybe we drop something. You all need to just go out there, deep and just experience it one time for the one time, man. So be on the lookout for me and Marquee, man. You're gonna see us in the city, man. Being vendors, doing our thing with our 3D printed items. So for your visual pleasure, if you're on YouTube, Instagram, that's what we're doing. We cooking up here. And on top of that, we back, y'all. We back. Alright, when I say we back on Instagram, because Instagram was tripping, but we straight now. So thank you for your time. Thank you to all the listeners. And yeah, I'm about to go kick it with my daughters, y'all. So happy Father's Day again. Happy summer solstice. And go Knicks, go Knicks, go Knicks. We the champs. New York is gonna be super lit this summer. So I'm looking forward to pulling up on that. Cheese. Anything closing words you want to say real quick?
Nah. What's up with the Skylark now? How are you building it now? What's up?
What's up with the Skylark? Hey, Ali, thank you for that question. And also shout out to you for joining and giving us a breakdown on life as a gamer. Skylark is pushing. Skylark, we have some customers that we've been working with outside of crypto. That's really been our focus, is building with communities, our IRL communities. So we have some in the States in our platform. We also have a cohort program right now where we're looking to raise funds. So we've been quiet on X mainly because the focus of our market isn't really active on X. But that's going to change soon. We're going to start doing some more engagement on X because we can't forget the community, as I mentioned. But we've been super focused since the beginning of the year. We're in class every week for this program that we're in. So grateful to what I've been able to learn and be looking out for people skylarking in the future.
That's right, man. Major shout out to Skylark. Major shout out to Mick and Marquis. Major shout out to CryptoCrew.com. Hit the website, sign up for the newsletter. Everybody subscribe to the newsletter. We'll be getting that tonight, man. So thank y'all again. Enjoying the city, some things. Y'all appreciate everybody taking both my co-hosts, Just Cheese, Blue. Shout out to Cash, who was on stage earlier. Shout out to Fiend. Shout out to our guy Jeff, Ali. Man, thank all of y'all, man. It's your boy T Gold, episode 123, TCK Web3 News Roundtable. See y'all next week. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
Y'all know where y'all going?
I'm going to the in-laws, man. Going to the in-laws.
Got a place?